Hello, ladies and gentlemen of Vandebilt and the whole YouTube world. I am Alex Allison, also known as AA, and welcome to my channel. There is a lot of news to go over, of course, coming into the new fall season and the fall school year. So, for those who are new to the channel, this January I started a show called Terrier Talk, where I went over all of the sports news every week for Vandebilt Catholic. Every single week I'd go over baseball, basketball, soccer, tennis, bowling, whatever it may be from that week, track whatever it was, of course in the winter and spring semesters, and I would go over the results, I would preview the following games, and that's how it would go from week to week. Of course, at the end of the school year, I ended the season because we didn't have any more sports to go over, and I stopped during the summer. And now, I am pleased to announce that Terrier Talk is returning. It will return for a season premiere, Season 2, Episode 1, on August 25th, next Sunday, a week after this gets uploaded at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is a big thing starting up the second season, and there will be a slight difference going into this season as opposed to last season, and that's more in regards to what sports we're going over than anything else. Of course, I started last season in January, right in the middle of the winter season of sports, where we had basketball and soccer as the two big sports that were going on. So most of the screen time, most of the airtime was split up between those four sports, boys and girls soccer and boys and girls basketball. The breakup is going to be very different going into the fall, because there are only four sports going on: cross-country, swimming, volleyball, and football at the beginning of the school year. And because of my background and what I do, football is going to end up taking up a lot more time than anything else will. Just because look, my favorite sport is football. I love talking about the stories of every football game, the reviews of every football game, previewing every new football game every week. I love talking about that. That's my favorite thing in all of sports to do. So that's going to probably take up more time than most other sports would. The other thing is that I go to every single football game. I'm not going to go to every game for pretty much every other sport, barring maybe basketball and track, because I, of course, am in those sports. So the football reviews are not just going to be bigger and longer, they're going to be much more in-depth. If you remember last season where I reviewed the first-round soccer game and the E.D. White game for baseball, for boys soccer and then baseball, of course, near the end of the season, and I got really in-depth because I went to the games, and I watched those games, and I told the story of those games. Every football game is going to be a lot more like that than it is going to be the majority, the average game review that I've had before now. So it's going to be a lot more football focused. I'm going to focus a lot on every single game. Of course, I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to give as much time as I can to volleyball and cross country and swimming and bring them up when I can, but football is going to be the most important sport going into this series going into the fall. The other big thing I want to announce is, on this season premiere, you see it on your screen, we're going to have a very special guest to start the season. The new head coach for the football team, Lance Leday. I really cannot wait to do it, and I think it will be great for, of course, the entire school. You guys don't really know Coach Leday that well, and you guys are going to get to meet him in depth during this interview at the beginning of the episode, top of the hour, 8 o'clock, and I can't wait to see you guys there. However, that is not the only announcement for this video and going forward for this channel, because I am proud and glad to announce a second show is going to start, a weekly show is going to start on this channel in just a couple of weeks, and that show is Gridiron Gateway. Welcome to the Gridiron Gateway. It premieres, as you see on your screen, August 29th, probably at 8 p.m., and it is college football oriented. So what does this mean? My favorite sport to watch on television, to follow, more than anything else, is college football. Football in general is my favorite sport, and I love the college version of it. I love talking about it, I love discussing it, and I love just everything about it. So I want to talk about it more on this channel. I want to talk about it as much as I can. So that's the way I'm going to be able to do this. And I'm not going to be alone, because I'm going to have 3 co-hosts with me. Two of them, students at Vandebilt, you might know, Leah Martin and Andrew Sondheimer, and one of them, a friend of mine, his name is Tripp, outside of Louisiana, and we're going to be talking every single week about the games. One thing I really find interesting about this group of 4 people is that we're going to have a very unique perspective on college football that most other shows of this nature don't have due to our diversity and our biases. Every especially college football fan is going to be biased towards one team or another. But unlike shows that'll focus on one team or one conference only, we have different tastes. I'm an LSU fan, Lee's a Texas A&M fan, Tripp's an Auburn fan, and Andrew's a Miami fan. So we're not just going to talk about LSU games. We're not just going to talk about one team. We're going to talk about all of college football, all of the big news in college football every single week. So it's going to be unique. It'll have a little bit of a focus on the South, a little bit of a focus on the SEC, but it's going to be wide-ranging, everything in the nation, every single week. And I hope to see you all there. That's going to be all for today. And I hope to see you guys tune in on both August 25th for the season premiere of Season 2 of Terrier Talk, and August 29th for the first episode of the new series, Gridiron Gateway. I'll see you guys there. See you next time.